When you play Dota for many tens of thousands of hours, the monotonous gameplay becomes tiresome and you want something new. For me, that new thing was cheats. And now I will tell you about the coolest features from the most popular Dota cheat, Umbrella. Anyone can test it completely free of charge. I'll leave a link in the description that gives you a 10-day trial period and a 33% discount on the first subscription upon registration. Now let's move on to the features. The most important thing is to keep your account safe. I recently talked about how low the chance of getting banned for cheats is, even if you play as brazenly as possible. But nevertheless, the risk is there. Therefore, some users who have an expensive inventory and don't want to take risks create a separate account for playing with cheats. However, for violations on one account, Valve sometimes blocks all accounts altogether, and a spoofer helps against this. When the cheat is launched, the original version of Steam closes and a patched version opens instead, which replaces your PC's real data with randomly generated ones. Thus, even if the account used for cheats gets banned, the other accounts will remain safe. The main advantage in Dota is information, so let's start with the Maphack. It exists in several types. The first type is Ability Maphack, where every time an opponent uses a skill or item, we will see it. The second type is Jungle Maphack, where when the opponent farms the jungle, we can see exactly where they are doing it. There's a Roshan Maphack that lets you see Roshan's exact HP, and if the enemies start attacking him, you can easily jump in with a blink at the right moment and grab the Aegis. It also provides information about enemy teleports and some minor actions, such as collecting lotuses from the pond or capturing watchers. At the same time, the cheater won't allow themselves to be tracked because there's a visible by enemy feature that works like Slark's ult. If enemies see your hero, an indicator appears, and an additional indicator appears if your hero is under the effect of a sentry ward. Oracle's innate ability gives info on where the next rune will pop up. But the cheater doesn't need Oracle on the team. They already know where the power-up rune's gonna spawn because it's built into Umbrella. The next part's all about the Dodger, which is super customizable and can react to any skill in Dota with a cast animation. So basically, you can dodge everything except hexes. The Dodger can sidestep skills like AoE stuff, Pudge's hook, or Mirana's arrow. It can also leap away with a dagger or a hero's built-in blink, though the latter's kinda unlikely because those have long cast animations. You can still jump away from Enigma if she tries to drop Midnight Pulse before Black Hole, but it's harder with Magnus if he pops RP right away. But you can hit Manta to dodge that RP, and Manta also helps against targeted skills. If dodging a skill's not possible, the Dodger can minimize the damage by using items like BKB, Satanic, Blade Mail, Lotus, Crimson, Pipe, and so on. Lotus is like my fave item, especially against Juggernaut. The Dodger's got every single skill and item in Dota covered. Pudge pops Flesh Heap when attacking, Anti-Mage reflects skills with Counterspell, Jugger spins with Blade Fury, Invoker vanishes with Invis, and so on. You could list this stuff forever. But you can just avoid having to dodge altogether with a Disabler, you know? If an enemy jumps at you with a dagger or tries to cast one of the skills on the list, they'll instantly get slapped with an Orchid, Hex, Euls, or some built-in disable your hero's got. Umbrella's got auto combos for every Dota hero too. With Invoker, you can set up any skill combo, then just hold one button and the script will dish out your full combo with perfect timing. Meepo can solo farm the jungle, save clones when their HP's low, and pop all skills and items to take down enemies. Magnus can track how many enemies are caught in his RP. You can set the minimum number of heroes he'll jump on to use RP. Other heroes have similar features, like for Shaker's ult or Enigma's Black Hole. Obviously, there's a kill stealer too. As soon as an enemy's HP drops below what your hero can nuke with one skill or item, it'll trigger and send the enemy to the fountain. It's a must-have on someone like Axe. And honestly, on any core, it's always nice to snag those kills. Automatic Armlet toggling. It's an insane script that can make you practically invincible in some situations. Other cheats do it by instantly turning it off and on, which is way better than manual toggling. But Umbrella took it to the next level. Our Armlet toggle script analyzes everything happening around your hero. Hits from creeps, towers, and heroes. All skills and items dealing DOT, even neutral creep skills. It toggles the Armlet between damaged ticks, so even a bunch of poison skills isn't a problem. Sure, there are times when toggling is impossible, but whenever it's doable, the script will make it happen. I've talked about the Maphack already, but there's more in the info section. Like, you can turn on an overlay showing cooldowns on enemy abilities and items, which is super handy against heroes with crucial ults like Enigma. But for any hero, it's important to know if their BKBs back off cooldown. For example, there's also info on when the next Roshan will spawn, whether enemies have a scan or glyph ready, and if not, how long till they're up again. Hidden skills like Invoker's Sunstrike or Kunkka's Torrent aren't hidden anymore. We can see them right after casting, so we can dodge them. But no worries, the dodger will handle that on its own. The next features aren't exactly cheats, but I can't imagine playing without them anymore. First up is the stats window for your enemies and allies, so you can instantly see who to ban, who might deserve mid, and who absolutely shouldn't get it. Second, it's all about hero stats. Whether you're playing with cheats or without, if you stick to effective heroes, your win rate's gonna be higher than someone who's just picking randomly. Most people don't follow the meta because they're too lazy to check out stat sites and remember all that info. Luckily, Umbrella's got a meta tracker. Just set your rank, the minimum win rate, and pick rate for heroes. Then, right in Dota, you'll see a grid of the best meta heroes. And third, there's the build helper. Obviously, just having a list of meta heroes isn't enough. To play effectively, you need to know which aspect to choose, which skills and talents to level up, and what items to buy. The build helper gives you those tips, suggesting the most effective builds and skill distributions for every role in Dota. For those worried about getting their main account banned, I suggest making a separate account for playing with cheats. Just make sure the spoofer's box is checked before launching the cheat. That way, your main will stay safe. Remember, when you register using the link in the description, you get a 10-day trial of Umbrella, which is more than enough to judge the software's quality and decide if you want to keep playing with cheats or not.